So I'm going to sort of quickly review some of the things going on in this next week or two. As I said last week, I was going to go and post like work for the rest of the term. So that's been up, but there are some things that I wanted to kind of point out, some important things that I wanted to kind of go over. So the next like 2 weeks are sort of blended together a little bit. We've done a week sort of like this earlier where it wasn't like the week 14 and 15, it sort of starts like yesterday, obviously on Monday, but it sort of runs through the last day of class. So you've got some things due, like looking over the portfolio stuff if you haven't already. There's some end of term quizzes and presentations on appeals that are kind of split up. And then there's the session 2, which is signing up for these conferences. And I want to kind of go over that really quick. So these are optional conferences for the portfolio, well, when they pop up. So these are like just 10-minute slots. Yeah, I don't know why that's crossed out either. It's just something, I guess, weird the document is doing. So some people have already started signing up for these. They're optional but recommended. So what that means is there's no direct penalty. Like you don't get like, an incomplete or lose points or anything, but people do, even if you just come for a Q&A, like it could make the difference between like requirements you meet versus not. So if you have questions, it's always helpful at least to pop in for 10 minutes for some Q&A because it does tend to improve grades. But again, like there's no direct penalty for not coming. And I did note, for instance, like if you just have quick Q&A, 10 minutes is fine. If you have like, if you want more like detailed like reading of stuff, or you need specific help with like coming up with ideas for the writing theory or the digital essay, if you're still, kind of working on that and there's stuff that you really need some like more in-depth help with, it might be helpful to possibly sign up for like one earlier session to ask some questions and maybe hit some stuff you need, and then maybe sign up for one closer to when you plan to turn it in. Or sign up for 2 slots back to back and take like 20 minutes. We can cover a good bit in 20 minutes, like some quick Q&A. I'll be able to read through some things, maybe give you an idea of how you're doing. And I'm going to go back to modules. And, oh, I went down a little too far. So we're just sort of a reminder just to sign up for that. It's an option. There is a final reading response on reflection because that's kind of what we're doing with the writing, the writing theory. So you do have like that main portfolio page, and you are designing your digital essay on the site, and then the writing theory is very sort of like kind of a final exam. You're doing your description of good writing as part of it, which is something we've been working on ideas for all semester. And then the last part is sort of ties in a class reflection. So we're going to be doing some brainstorming for that. I'm going to click on that. And as you can see, it's not even 8 minutes. It's a very quick like brainstorming activity to put in your notebook. It's probably like your final notebook kind of activity. Just sort of helps do some of the things we've been doing to sort of mine and get examples together and things for your notebook. As you can see from my suggested YouTube videos, I watch a lot of murder mystery. So one of the downsides of YouTube, posting my videos on YouTube. Okay, so I'm going to go back. So and these are for different, this next set of activities. You don't have this many activities. You'll be assigned to one based on the class section that you're in. So it's a writing theory collaboration. So I'm just going to pull up 3. The goal is sort of to view some other writing theories, see how other people are doing it. You can also, being able to pull up other people's links and see their site. You can also get some other ideas, look through how people maybe have decided to design like their site or set things up, read through how other people have maybe designed like their essays and things like that. So it's sort of a big picture, just being able to see what other people are doing and provide some feedback, get ideas for your own work, obviously. So you're going to post a shitty draft of your writing theory to a shared Padlet, so you can see what other people in your class are doing. Please make sure you either log in or post your name so I know it's you. So you're going to post your draft with a few questions for where you might want some advice or help, like anything specific, like questions, stuff like that. You can put that as a reply, or as you know how to use Padlet. You can put your name and then put your questions underneath at the top, as long as they're there and I can see it. I did not say like there has to be a minimum word count for this. The final draft in the portfolio has to be at least 1,400 words. So I guess a recommended number would be at least like 500, like at least a page, at least the writing theory part, maybe some of your examples. If you can have more done, but you'll be able to look and see a lot of what other people are doing. So the main goal is to participate. Especially because it's so close to the end of the term. I'm not going to really set like a lot of really strict like minimums right before like the very end of the term. This is the very last activity. So there's a little bit more leniency with how far you need to be in order to participate. So what you're going to do for step 2 is provide feedback to at least 3 peers. So tell them something you like so far about their writing theory, and I give you some ideas there. A point that they've made that you either agree or disagree with, some sort of commentary about what they've said, and a suggestion for improvement, and again, some ideas there. So you have to kind of make like 3 comments, like here's what I like, here's something I agree or disagree with and why, and here is something I would suggest. So, and it could be if they said they had questions or they said they needed help with this, it can be a direct, response to what they said they need help with. And then in your own notebook, I guess this is actually your last notebook reflection. It's going to be kind of a 200-word just sort of description of what you did. So describe where you are with the draft you posted, like where you are in the process, what you need help with, what's going well, and talk about 3 theories you read. It does or doesn't, I mean, it can be the exact 3 that you gave feedback on. It doesn't necessarily have to be. You might decide to like give feedback on some, maybe just look around and, look for, some just to get ideas for, or for your own. So these don't have to be the 3 you provided feedback on, but it can be. You can talk more. If you read more than 3, you can talk about that. That's always to your benefit. Explain what you liked, questioned, or agreed with, and something that stood out to you that would give you an idea for something for your own. Like a good way to think about writing is also not just give other people feedback or get straight feedback, but to be able to look at what other people are doing and get ideas. Like, oh, they did really good with this. I'd like to try that in my own. Or they did a really good job with this. That's something I need to work on. That could be a good example of how to do it. So you're going to write maybe 200 words. This is roughly half a page, just about your own, like where you are with stuff. And that would actually be your final notebook post. And that is it. Sort of session 2 work. So I do want to put that the way this writing theory works is I've asked everybody by Sunday night to get your writing theory posted. But the actual due date is actually like the last day of class, so it's not actually due until the 15th, this workshop part. I just suggested that everybody please try to post by Sunday, as many as possible, just because it's really hard if everybody's waiting until the last minute to post for everybody to get done. So just try to be courteous and get it in when you can. Get it posted when you can. This is the final exam week calendar. It just kind of includes 2 things. One, a reminder again to sign up for optional conference and to submit your portfolios. And this is the thing I really wanted to sort of explain. Early portfolio submission is Thursday, December 17th, and I explained it on the due date too. So the link to early submission and the last call, which I'll explain, goes to the same place. It's the same assignment. It's just me asking you to submit it early. So early submission is if you submit your portfolio by Thursday, 12/17 at 11:59 p.m., I will submit a rubric score by Saturday the 19th. So you can either be done when you see your score, or you can you have a chance to revise. I think the last day of exams is the December 23rd, which is the day before Christmas Eve. It's super late. That's why I'm calling it a last call. I'm just sort of leaving it open. Grades aren't submitted from professors until after the new year. So I'm just saying, take until the very last second if you need it to get your portfolio in. Turn it in as early as possible, obviously, and be done. But if whatever your schedule is like, if you happen to need until the very last minute, you have until the very last minute. I'm not in any particular like rush. So last call is the very last day at the very last second of final exam week, the 23rd at 11:59 p.m. So it's there if you need it. I also have a please review the portfolio like rubric and checklist that is also in the, I also kind of go over the checklist and everything in the portfolio like overview video. So when you submit it, just please make sure that, your website is complete, that your website's been proofread, that you've checked the live site to make sure links, images, videos. If you want to submit a published link, that's fine. If you want to submit your feedback link, they both look exactly the same. All I ask is that you check it to make sure everything works. Sometimes it's after the semester ends, it's really difficult for me to contact people. I try to give you the benefit of the doubt if something doesn't work or I can't access something and try to contact you. But website errors do happen, and sometimes people will submit portfolios they think are done and I can't access something. So I try to give you the benefit of the doubt, but try to make sure that you have reviewed it and everything looks the way it's supposed to before you turn it in, and that your site is ready to be graded. So there is the chance for early submission and kind of a last call. And then I'm back here at the modules page. So that's kind of everything in terms of like announcements and stuff for this last couple of weeks. Be checking your email and signing up for conferences and stuff. I am going to send out some bonus opportunities and things like that at the last minute. So keep your eyes open for that, and please email me if you have questions. Peace.